Hey everyone, and welcome to the deep dive. You know, we always like to go beyond the surface here, and today we're doing just that with, well, a recipe.
A recipe.
Yeah, but honestly, it's way more than just a recipe.
All right, I'm intrigued.
So we found this blog post on www.4canfry.com called Chicken Cabbage Recipe, a quick, healthy, and flavorful meal, and it got us thinking.
Chicken and cabbage, huh?
Yeah, like on the surface, totally basic,
Yeah.
right? But when you start peeling back the layers,
Well, I see where you're going with this.
there's history, cultural significance, and even like a window into current food trends.
I'm already hooked. Tell me more.
So let's unpack what makes this dish so special. I mean, it's chicken and cabbage, two ingredients that seem like they've been around forever.
Well, you're not wrong. They really are kind of staples across so many different cultures going way back. Simple, accessible ingredients that people have relied on for centuries.
And that quick and easy thing is still a big deal today. The blog post even calls it out. 25 minutes, that's it. Perfect for those busy weeknights.
And it fits right in with all those popular diets, too. Keto, paleo, Whole30, even gluten-free. It checks all the boxes. Low carb, high protein, packed with fiber. I mean, it's only 16 grams of carbs per serving.
It's like the accidental hero of 2023 meals.
All
Okay, but seriously, what's actually in this thing? Let's break it down.
right, so you start with 1 pound of boneless, skinless chicken, breast or thighs, whatever you prefer, and then 4 cups of shredded cabbage. Pretty straightforward so far.
Okay, so we're already seeing the simplicity, like these are ingredients you can find almost anywhere.
Exactly. And then to really bring the flavor, we've got aromatics, a small diced onion, and here's the thing, 2 cloves of garlic. The blog really emphasizes the garlic, and I gotta say, they're right. Don't snip on the garlic.
Yeah, that makes sense. You got to build that base, good foundation for all those flavors.
And then to round it all out, we've got chicken broth, coconut aminos, or soy sauce if you prefer, and a touch of apple cider vinegar for that little bit of zing.
Okay, so we've got the savory, we've got the tangy. We're building something interesting here. And the cooking process is 5 steps, right?
5 simple steps. And the first one is crucial. You want to get that nice sear on the chicken in a hot skillet. Season it up first, of course, but that sear, that's what really locks in all that flavor.
Oh, yeah, searing. Like that takes us
Yeah.
back, right?
Ugh.
Cooking over an open fire, it's a classic technique for a reason.
It really is. And speaks of classic, after the chicken's all seared and gorgeous, we move on to our aromatics.
Time for the onion and garlic to shine.
Exactly. Saute those until they're fragrant, which doesn't take long at all. And then comes the cabbage.
All right, so we're layering now, building up the flavors and textures.
That's it. Toss that cabbage in, let it soften a bit, and then bring that beautiful seared chicken back into the pan.
So we're not going for like mushy cabbage or overcooked chicken. It's all about balance.
You got it. And that's where our liquids come in. Pour in your broth, your aminos, or soy sauce, that little splash of vinegar, and let everything simmer together.
Okay, so we've got the historical context, we've got the modern diet connection, and we've got a symphony of flavors happening in our skillet. I'm liking this already.
Right. And here's the best part. It's so versatile. Enjoy it as is for a nice low-carb meal, or add some rice, quinoa, even cauliflower rice if you're feeling fancy.
I was going to say, it feels like a blank canvas. Add different veggies, maybe swap out the protein. The possibilities are endless.
Totally. The blog post even suggests ground turkey, shrimp, or even tofu as alternatives to the chicken.
So it's like a culinary choose-your-own-adventure. But I'm curious, what does the popularity of this recipe tell us about how people are approaching food these days?
That's a great question. It definitely speaks to our desire for quick and easy meals. We're all busy, right?
Right. But it also seems like there's a bigger trend toward healthier eating, wanting those wholesome ingredients.
Yeah, and this recipe kind of nails that balance. It's convenient, but it's also good for you.
And let's not forget the nostalgia factor. In a world of trendy, complicated recipes, there's something comforting about a dish like chicken and cabbage. It reminds us of simpler times, home-cooked meals, and the enduring power of basic ingredients.
You know, you're right. There's a real sense of universality to it, something that connects us to our shared culinary heritage.
Wow. It's amazing how a simple recipe can spark such a deep conversation about food, culture, and even our own personal values. But hey, we haven't even talked about the meal prep aspect yet.
Right. That's another big perk. This dish keeps beautifully in the fridge for up to 4 days. Make it once and enjoy it all week long.
So it's perfect for those who are always on the go, and it takes the stress out of healthy eating during a busy week.
Absolutely. And speaking of healthy eating, did you know that cabbage is kind of a nutritional superstar?
I had a feeling there was more to it than meets the eye. Tell me more.
Well, it's packed with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, you name it. Fiber, vitamin C, vitamin K, folate. It's even been linked to things like reducing inflammation and improving digestion.
So it's not just a humble side dish. It's a secret weapon for good health.
You could say that. And it brings us back to that historical significance we talked about earlier. Our ancestors may not have known about all those specific nutrients, but they intuitively knew cabbage was good for them.
It's fascinating how traditional foods often turn out to be nutritional powerhouses, as if our ancestors were ahead of their time.
They definitely had a good grasp on what it meant to eat well, and this chicken and cabbage recipe is a testament to that wisdom.
So with all this in mind, why should our listeners care about this seemingly simple dish? What's the takeaway here? I think it goes beyond just the recipe itself. It's like this dish, it kind of speaks to something deeper, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Like, we're talking about simple meals, nourishing food. It's something that resonates with people across cultures and generations.
And the fact that it's so adaptable, that's huge. We've talked about how you can swap the protein, add different veggies, play with the spice levels. It's a recipe that can really be tailored to individual preferences.
Definitely. And I think that's what makes it so appealing to modern cooks. It's like a starting point, you know?
Yeah.
Encourages people to get in the kitchen and experiment, make it their own.
Speaking of making it your own, we'd love to hear from you. Have you tried a chicken and cabbage recipe? What are your favorite twists? Head over to our social media pages and let us know.
Yeah, we're always looking for new culinary inspiration. And hey, if you're curious about this recipe and want to give it a go, you can find all the details on www.forkandfry.com.
They've got tons of other amazing recipes too, all focused on simple, healthy, and delicious meals. So as we wrap up our deep dive into this surprising world of chicken and cabbage, we want to leave you with one final thought.
Sometimes the simplest things in life are the most profound.
Don't underestimate the power of a humble meal to nourish your body, connect you to your heritage, and spark joy in your everyday life. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive. We'll catch you next time.
Well, I think it's safe to say that we've gone pretty deep on what seemed like a pretty basic dish. Chicken and cabbage. Who knew, right? Right. But it's a great reminder that sometimes the simplest things have the most to offer. I mean, we found history, culture, nutrition all wrapped up in this one recipe.
Totally. It's like this dish speaks to something we all crave, like those simple, nourishing meals that bring people together.
Yeah.
And it shows you that home cooking doesn't have to be complicated to be amazing.
Absolutely. And I love that it's so adaptable. We talked about all the different ways you can tweak it to make it your own. And that's what I think is so exciting for people today. It's a starting point for culinary creativity.
And speaking of getting creative, we always love hearing from you. Have you tried a chicken and cabbage recipe? What are your go-to variations? Come on, spill the beans. Head over to our social media pages and let us know.
We're always on the lookout for new ideas. And hey, if you're feeling inspired and want to try this recipe yourself, head over to www.forkandfry.com. They've got the full recipe details, plus tons of other delicious and healthy meals just waiting to be discovered.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the surprising world of chicken and cabbage, we want to leave you with this thought.
Sometimes the most profound things in life are also the simplest.
Don't underestimate the power of a good meal. It can nourish you, connect you to your roots, and bring a little joy to your day. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive. We'll catch you next time.